surprised me the most, and I felt that it's better to just bring it out and just say it the way it is. Inter had 70.8% of the possession. They had 30 shots and 16 corners, and still they couldn't beat Bodo Glimt. It's still a big surprise for me. They controlled the territory, but they didn't look dangerous. What do you think?
Yeah, and this is what happens with Champions League when you go away and you lose that way. So Bodo Glimt had no reason to come out. It was all for Inter it was all for Inter to do. And it was just a bad day again because I saw the game. So many chances, half chances, maybe not very clear. So many times they even got close to scoring and a clear line, goal line clearance and all of that. We saw a lot of that. However, kudos to Bodo Glimt, in my opinion. They had few chances and they scored good goals. They did not. There were no flukes, And again, that's what happens with this, like the giant slayer mentality. At the level that football is right now, if you don't take your chances, you're going to get cleaned out. So, and that's what Bodo Glimt did. You get punished, as simple as that. So, again, shout out to more. Beyond anything, I give kudos more to Bodo Glimt rather than talk about even Inter Milan. I think it's unfair when we talk about Inter Milan at that level. If you cannot do well against the Bodo Glimt, you're like Italian champions in the last 5 years, about 3 times. You can't. In fact, you are the final of the last Champions League. So are they saying without Lautaro they can't play football anymore? They can't get goals, or without Chanunogo you can't create in the midfield? I think Bodo was not did not. In my opinion, I would rather speak about Bodo than speak about Inter Milan. So shout out to Bodo Glimt. They did what they were supposed to do in their home. And they came away and just sat back, waited for Inter, and Inter couldn't do anything, and they went ahead. So, kudos to Bodo more than anything.
More than anything, yeah. I think I like what I saw from Bodo Glimt. It's also similar with the way Juventus also suffered, as in against Galatasaray. There were some goal opportunities that they were missing. I was like, what is this?
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
Last minute, and when you don't do your job in the first leg, you now start struggling in those situations.
You make it hard. You make it hard for yourself.
Yeah. But I think for Inter, a fundamental problem is their wing backs. DiMarco and Dumfries, they struggled a bit, especially in this kickoff, especially first and second leg. They struggled. They were not a good engine for them, just like they were, in their last Champions League that they got to the final. I didn't really see that bite from Dumfries this time around.
They are neither here nor there. Without Dumfries, without DiMarco, Inter Milan should walk into that game finding 3 points home and away against Bodo Glimt. No excuses. I'm sorry, no excuses. They didn't do their job.
That's true.
And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, they didn't do their job, especially away. At the away game, they were sloppy. It felt like by appearing on the pitch, you were going to get 3 points, and that doesn't work. Especially for a team that is ready.
They were entitled.
Yeah, they were entitled, and
he kind of entitled.
No, because you are a perennial winner, you're the bigger team, you're coming, and you just get to the pitch and you don't apply yourself to the game, you'll be taken to the cleaners, and exactly what they did. And again, they showed them even at the highest level in San Siro. So
San Siro, exactly. Yeah. I think they took them to the cleaners of San Siro. The cleaners.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Just to touch on that, and I think, like you said, when you're talking about when you're reading out the stats, and that's another perfect scenario, perfect example of how sometimes stats doesn't tell the full story, right?
Yeah.
Like the analogy I would like to say is it reveals a lot but doesn't reveal the most important thing. I watched the game, the second leg, and Inter Milan were drab. They just had possession. You could tell, Bodo Glimt knew what they wanted to do. They had the lead.
Yeah.
So they were willing to sit back and hit on the counter, and the goals came from counter-attack. But Inter Milan did not do enough for me to even put in the effort, fight, unlike what Galatasaray in the Juventus match, even though they lost, you could see the effort from Juventus coming back from 3 goals down to take it to
10 men. With 10 men
from first half. So you could see the difference. Although they lost, but they left with at least their heads held high. Or like Inter Milan, which was, like you said, for finalists of last season to go out in such manner, losing home and away, it's terrible.
Not good enough.